Hey, what's going on, guys? IC Trades here, and today we're going to be going over ticker symbol GME GameStop, doing a technical analysis breakdown. Right away, guys, stock has some very bad news, as we can see with that giant gap down and red candle. We're going to be getting into all of that. Before we get into the daily chart, though, we're going to be checking the weekly for a broader perspective. Now, guys, on the weekly of GameStop, very obvious that this stock is very prone to these huge runs, acting kind of like AMC, for example, just a stock that likes to go on these very parabolic runs, kind of play around and out of nowhere seemingly go on these very giant spikes, which a lot of low cap stocks do. But there are some very valid data points I want to get into. You see the stock after that giant run in, late 2020 to early 2021 at that $120 level, comes down, reaches higher low, pretty much double topping, furthering into this descending wedge we see here, breaking out of that all the way to that $64 level, coming back down, creating a lower high at 48, then coming down, kind of consolidating, getting tight for a lot of weeks, guys, and then breaking out of this overall pennant. And then from there, we see a descending range. It gets in a breakout. And then after that bad news, guys, we see that very obvious solid red bar getting under those support zones, still above that $20 support level. And this overall range before it got that giant spike we saw to $64. So a lot going on. From a weekly perspective, we see bearish action, guys, with that strong red candle. Guys, interestingly enough, we are still above this ascending support here. After breaking out, coming back down, tapping that support, taps it again, taps it once more, gets to this range, taps off that as well as that $20 level. We are still above that, trending above that as well as that $20 support level. Now, guys, on the daily chart, some of you guys might be asking, why did GameStop see this huge decline? Why did we gap down this much? A few things happened with GameStop. GameStop announced plans to raise up to $1.3 billion in convertible debt. Convertible debt is a type of debt that can be converted into the company's stock, which would dilute the value of existing shares. Also, they recently invested some of the company's share into Bitcoin, which is also a concern for some investors, aiding this giant gap down movement we see here. Their first quarter revenue declined, indicating a continued shift in customer preference towards those digital downloaded games. So, guys, a lot of bad news happening for GameStop, but from a TA perspective, we're going to break down what we see. So, guys, starting from here, get out of this range. The stock gets around this 34.47 level, bounces off that two times, gets into this descending wedge pattern we see here, bouncing off this descending support and bouncing off this descending resistance. Now, sellers push it down. Sellers are kind of in control towards the bottom of this range. You see a gap up. Buyers try to push it above, gets rejected hard, followed by a gap down with a hard red candle. Then we find nice support around this $20 level. We can see that that $20 level is very nice support. Bounce off of that, get in this very tight consolidation range here, bouncing off that $25 support. A few times, get up, try to break through there. Can't happen. Back at that, confirming the strength of that support level. Bounce out of that descending wedge once and for all. Then we get in this very tight apex-like range here. Breakout. 1, 2, 3 green candles, reaching the top of that 35.89 level. Then we see a sharp sell-off and correction, getting into another one of these ranges, kind of doubling this range we saw here, mirroring that. And it looks like, we get in this pennant formation with this resistance and this overall ascending support that we saw in the past, where we bounced off a couple times and aiding this overall breakout from this descending wedge. So, we had some hope here. Price was getting tight, tried to hold that overall support, but got under that, guys, and under that $29 support level. And then we see that major sell-off, gap down like 13-14% and finished at 25%, guys. So definitely not great for the bulls, obviously, but we are still in this overall range. All hope isn't lost, as long as price can kind of correct itself. Still at this ascending support that we saw from a while back, hitting that a few times, so that could still be in play, as well as this overall support level. We are back in this descending range, as you can see here. So we are back in that descending range. We will have to see if we can kind of reclaim that range and play around there. Might be seeing some lows to 1871 if price continues to fall over the next couple of days, guys. But ultimately, guys, you want to see price get tight. You don't want to see price get influenced by the sharp move down. We do have a lot of room in a short-term perspective to go up after that very giant gap down we saw here, very aggressive sell-off. GameStop is a very volatile stock, so we could see a volatile correction. After that harsh news, it's very likely that stock could be going down a little bit more on a bearish perspective. So guys, on the hourly, you see that run up, that initial run up and correction, getting tight in that range that we saw right in that pennant type of pattern, getting tight, 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 and tight. Then price has to make a decision, trying to reclaim that ascending support, ultimately go down under that ascending support as well as under that 29.24 level. And then we see that drastic gap down and sell off all the way to this 22.14 price, bouncing off this ascending support. So guys, keep in mind that this ascending support is still in play, as well as that 20.83 level. So the next few trading days will really tell us how price is going to react to this drastic gap down and sell off. If we can build a base on this ascending support, furthermore, if we can't hold that ascending support, if we can hold this 20.83 level, build a base, try to fill that gap and work our way back up. You want to see price either quickly fill that gap or get in a range like we saw there, a nice consolidation range, meaning that buyers are still in the game, ultimately pushing the price higher after getting a low consolidation range. So next few days are going to tell us a little bit more of what's going to happen if this price wants to keep on falling or if this price is going to hold and it's found a bottom after that huge sell-off. Although things aren't looking great, guys, I am bearish on this stock. Best thing we can do here is keep our eye on key levels and see how this price reacts. All right, guys, so GameStop's in a tough spot here. We're going to see what happens if it can hold that overall support. Zoomed out here, we are in a range, guys, where price consolidated for some time. You just see like a straight line, guys. Some very strong support around this region. We'll see if price can maintain that overall area or if we're headed to drastic lows, around that $10 to $9 limit, guys. If we can't hold this overall range, there's a lot of room to the downside. We'll have to see what stock does over the next few days. Not great news, guys. Bearish overall on the stock, but all hope isn't lost just yet. If you guys found value from this video and enjoyed, consider liking and subscribing, as I will be continuing to post GameStop as well as other major tickers. Trade smart, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.